We are back continuing my discussion on finances, being a frugal, chic girly, and how I finally saved my first $100,000. It was in a little under 2 years, which is still insane to me. And here are a few ways that I did that. And I'm going to go over just some basic tips. So for starters, I pay my bills and I make my own money to pay my bills. And that being said, I do have a partner. We live together, so we split a lot of things. But I would say it's pretty 50-50 in terms of our actual bills. He pays for a lot of our food, a lot of our dates, all that stuff. For any of my fun stuff, for any of my bills, like I pay for that. It comes out of my work, my paycheck, all of that. When I've thought about it, honestly, don't think that my life and my expenses would be that much different if I were single. My expenses might be a little bit higher if I were on my own. There definitely would be less going out to eat for sure. But I don't think it would be that significant, but I made this a goal and I decided to really, really go for it. And there are some ways that I did it. And the first one was keeping my expenses low. All of the things that go out of my paycheck every single month, I like to keep extremely low. So that being said, I pay for my car outright, don't have a car payment. That has been so helpful. So because I don't have that extra payment, I also don't have kids, so I don't have like a daycare cost that's coming out every single month. It's really one of my base tips when I talk to anybody about finances is keeping your monthly expenses low. I don't pay for unnecessary subscriptions. I try to get the cheapest monthly expense possible. That's when it comes to rent. That's when it comes to my monthly subscriptions, the things that are going out every single month, my car insurance, all of that stuff, I like to keep as low as possible because that's really going to allow me to retain as much of my money that I'm getting monthly, where I can then put as much of that into savings as possible. I also am not a very big shopper. When it comes to like just spending money, I become much more of like a frugal person rather than just buying all of the new things. I love to thrift. I love to find ways to, DIY, do my nails at home, those kinds of things. And I truly just had to put my head down for the amount of time and not spend those things. I always say this, you have a choice every single time when it comes to your money on what you're going to sacrifice and what you're going to not sacrifice. So of course I did spend money on flights. I went on a few trips. I still wanted to allow myself to be able to go do those things. So what I wasn't doing was buying every new thing that I wanted, buying new furniture for my house, buying new outfits when I was going on a trip, spending daily little money here and there. I spend very little when it comes to me and like frivolous things. And the reason that I was able to do that was because I knew there was an end date in sight. I knew that this wasn't going to be, a thing that I'm going to do like forever. Try to live with money as a balance. Money comes, money goes, time doesn't. So I do think that vacations and trips and going to see your family and friends is something that's really important. And it's more of a priority to me, honestly, than saving. Knowing that it's a short amount of time and I had a specific goal allowed me to like push through and want to sacrifice on certain things so that I get my savings goal, because now I have my savings, but I still have my income coming in. So I can, buy those new clothes if I want to buy those new clothes without feeling like I'm digging into my savings. So my first tip honestly would be to keep your monthly expenses as low as possible. My second would be to make a goal and stick to it and give yourself a timeline where you're able to look, in the future and say, okay, like this for a year, see how much I can save in a year. And specifically give myself like a timeline because I just had a goal in mind, like a number in mind, but you could always give yourself a timeline and say, okay, it's 6 months. I'm going to do like 6 months where I'm really locked in and trying to hit my savings goal. And I'm not going to be like shopping on all these random things. I am very, very frugal when it comes to that kind of thing because there's a goal in mind. So I'm very goal oriented. I'm goal minded. Like that's how I think. So when I put my head down and I want to do something, that is the best way. Another thing I always say is think about your savings as a bill every single month when you are, putting money away. Think ahead each month so that you can put that money into savings just like you would any other bill. For example, if I just went ahead and bought a piece of furniture one month, but I didn't go ahead and already pay my savings as if it was a bill, I would get to the end of the month and be like, okay, well, I didn't really need that piece of furniture because that wasn't a bill that had to be paid, but my savings was a bill that had to be paid. And so if you start looking at it like it's a bill that needs to be paid, it will make it a lot easier to make those decisions on those things and just think, okay, I'll get that furniture in a couple months. when my goal is over, and really putting your head down and getting your goal. And I promise you that as you see the money building, as you see yourself getting closer and closer to that goal, you become a lot more conscious of what you are spending your money on, and it becomes a lot easier to save. So take these tips, start your goal today. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you want more videos about. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.